Okay, cool. So we're playing some Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. That's a lot to say. Tonight, continuing my one-on-one sessions with Crystal. She's playing, well, she can introduce her own character, I guess, once the time comes. But this is the Ulrich Monastery, which is actually an adventure from Dungeon Magazine from from issue 39 from 1992. So this is actually written for first edition Dungeons and Dragons. Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers is basically a first edition clone in a sense with some changes. So we're going to run this one, and essentially our hero has been tasked with bringing a young girl, her name is Erin, to the monastery to receive her final kind of blessings and such before she's sent off to be married. She's kind of you've learned so far that she's kind of a little, she hasn't been out of her own, sanctuary of being a noble very much. You've been in this caravan for about 2 weeks, kind of winding through the snow, heading up. The monastery is in a very tall mountain, surrounded snow-capped mountain, and you're on a caravan. I mean, you're not a guard in the caravan. You're a guest, or whatever, with this girl for about 2 weeks or so. And as we open the adventure, they're letting you off at this point. This kind of a large, kind of a carved obelisk marker that the caravan leader tells you he'll be back in about 10 days, and he points you in the direction, basically up down the path to the monastery. It's about a 2-day hike. The snow is starting to fall. He kind of like tosses down to you this huge backpack with furs and a tent and food and stuff that you can make your way up to the monastery. And he says, he'll be back in 10 days, and safe travels. And he starts to pull off. So as Erin is kind of looking at this pile of equipment, like certainly not thinking she's going to be carrying any of it, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character, Crystal, and what you're thinking.
I'm playing Hykinthos Pelgendoris. He is a thief who has basically been looking for some work recently, and this work has come his way. As the driver throws down his rations and stuff and everything, Hykinthos, who I imagine at this point he's probably has some furs on himself, has like his mouth covered with like a cloth and some goggles covering his face so he's not getting wind in his eyes and everything. He reaches down into a bag on his hip and pulls out this gem and tosses it up to the caravan driver. He then turns and looks to the woman and looks to the bag and says, well, I can either carry that stuff or I can protect you from any possible wild creatures on the trail. Which one do you prefer?
Well, I'm quite sure that I can't lift that. She's, if I didn't make it clear, so she's about 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I had to make that clear. I wrote it in the event, I think, but I don't think I said it. Yeah, she's basically a girl. I mean, this is this is tribal stuff. She's being married off very young. Okay. She actually tries to lift it a little bit, and she can't. She's basically
I mean, I didn't know she was that young, so
yeah.
I would think it's like an adult woman. So Hykinthos instead would just grab the pack and sling it up over his shoulders. I'm guessing he ties it at the front, whatever he needs to do.
You're quite strong, actually. So
yeah, and then he has this great spear that he carries, and it's like it looks like it's like really nice, like this kind of like light wood, and there's like etchings all in it, like really fine etchings, and it's like silver ingrained. It kind of comes looks like sort of like silver, as in like ingrained in it, and the spear point of it, it shines just like shines like super well. And like you might almost think you're crazy if you get kind of close to it. It's almost like you almost hear this small humming noise coming out of the metal, like but it's like it's so faint you might almost think you're crazy, like you don't because the metal doesn't hum. But he plows that in the snow as he gets this bag on, and then he'll pick it up and sling it over his shoulder and gesture for the girl to follow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's very quiet. You've noticed this during this travel. I mean, most of the time on the caravan, I mean, you're pretty young too, but you're an adult and you were probably hanging out with the guards and that kind of stuff, keeping an eye on her. But where she was with maybe some of the other children that were traveling, you notice that she's pretty shy, probably a little afraid. She hasn't really been out in this kind of stuff very much, but she pulls, her furs around herself as well. And she's got this kind of, looks like it was probably gifted to her, some kind of like walking stick that she's like using to kind of hike through the snow. You guys have like you said, goggles and snowshoes and the whole thing. You're really well equipped for this. So as you're starting to move through the wilderness, you do see that there's a storm coming in, and you're traveling up. It's actually very serene wilderness, and depending on what you were up to the last part of your life. This might be kind of a nice change. It's quiet. All you can kind of hear is the wind. Occasionally you hear like some winter birds and stuff, but it's maybe not like anything you've ever seen before. It's quite beautiful. And you travel, the entire day without really seeing signs of anything, any life besides, small, like say, small birds and things like that. And you set up your camp. As you prepare to leave the next day, you kind of come out into a bit of you've been climbing the kind of this mountain, and maybe you were thinking you were just going to go straight up, but you kind of reach this area that is almost like a plateau, and you can see, in the distance that you can see another peak with it's very steep, and you can even see the kind of the bare cliffs reflecting with the ice kind of hanging down, reflecting in the distance. And it looks like you won't be doing much climbing, at least for the first part of this day. You got a nice, clean kind of path across, big open plain as you kind of moving forward. And let me see what happens here on day 2.
So we are coming up to a village, or like, are we going to have to camp outside? Or
no, you already camped. I just kind of hand waved that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah, it's fine. You can camp. I mean, you have the equipment. And there's nothing around, so at least where you camped. As you're coming up, this is like day 2 now. Like probably like you hiked for like an hour, and now you've reached this plateau. You don't see any kind of village. I mean, you just see literally cliffs of ice in front of you. Then you see this path that's clearly been cut through the mountain, almost looking like stairs, but clearly not like perfectly neat stairs, very very rough. But you're talking about a quarter of a day travel to get there. Yeah, and you're basically out in the open plain right now, and the winds are starting to pick up. I mean, you're very very well garbed. If you didn't have all the equipment that you have, you would be suffering. You're sure some kind of frostbite and that kind of stuff. Like it's definitely not a place where you want to be outside. Where you're at, if that makes sense. All right, so let me see here. Okay, so you've been traveling for about 2 hours or so, and while when you first looked at it, you thought this was very very flat. You are noticing that there's lots of, because of the wind, you're noticing kind of hills and valleys, if you will, of snow piles, and from kind of the side of one of those, you spot a wolf kind of looking at you. He's about 100 yards off. There's some bushes and stuff, as you can see in the picture. He's just kind of looking at you. He's directly in front of you, about 100 yards in front. He kind of stepped out.
Okay. Icanthus will, when he sees this, he'll put his hand up for the girl to stop. and he's gonna scan the area to see if he can see any other wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're looking around, and it doesn't take long for you to see that they're definitely, you've been around a bit. You probably have maybe encountered, at least heard of wolves. You can definitely see that there are other wolves, and they're making themselves known. They're basically poking their heads out and stuff like this. There's you can count, you think upwards of about 10. And they're all kind of spread out around you. Most of them are kind of making a loop in the front of you, but even as you look back behind you, you see there's a couple, like maybe 2 back there that are even further back, like almost like they might be younger, maybe, and they're just not with the rest of the pack. It's hard to say. But you've got probably something like 6, 7 wolves kind of directly in front of you, spread out.
Right. Hykenthus is going to pull his pack from his back, and he'll like set it on the ground in front of him. He's going to place his spear in the ground.
Okay.
And he's going to open up his pack, and he will take out a sack of rations, that would include maybe dried fish or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll pull out a couple of these dried fish and sort of wave it to the wolves, and he'll toss it out towards them and see if they will, go for that food.
Okay, yeah. So you get down. They're kind of like growling, and you get maybe doing they're yelping a little bit, kind of intimidating. Trying to intimidate throughout the process. But you kind of go down, and you're moving slow or whatever, so they don't come at you. And you do that. You throw it out in front of you. As far as you can throw. Something maybe 60 feet or so. And at first, when you throw it, they basically scatter. And then little by little they kind of start to move back, and one of them does actually eventually kind of get the courage or whatever to move up to it and start sniffing the food, and then actually starts to consume it right there. The other ones are kind of holding back.
Okay, I'll go ahead and toss 2 more, say 3 fish total. It would hopefully be enough to kind of get them to back off, and then he'll slowly start putting his if they see one of their buddies eating, then they'll know that there's food there. And so he'll slowly start putting his pack on, but he'll call the girl, motion her to come closer to him, just in case.
Yeah, she comes right up to you and basically is holding onto the side of you. She's basically a child. A couple more of the wolves go over to that area of the fish, and they have kind of a minor confrontation. Where one's like, come on, they're not talking clearly, but they're kind of fighting a little bit amongst themselves. Some of the other wolves are still kind of watching you. As you start to move forward, nothing's moving towards you at this point, though. Roll a d20.
Ah, 3.
Wow. Okay. All right, roll again. That's literally what I rolled.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
11.
Okay. You start moving forward, but you sense that maybe they took it as, oh, there's food here. There's even more food, and 3 of the wolves begin to charge forward. So what do you want to do as they're charging at you?
Okay, so he still hasn't put his pack up. He was going to. I take it still has his spear next to him.
Yeah, no, you walked up a bit. You're past the first couple. You thought you were getting by with that 3. That was kind of a tie. So there was a standoff where they were just watching you. So you're probably close to that pack one, the lead. I don't know. I'm going to call it the lead, the one that you saw in the beginning. You're close to almost getting out of the circle when suddenly the 3 that are in the front kind of growl and just kind of start to come at you. So you have everything. You're standing with your weapon or whatever you want to have. Whatever you'd normally be. Pack on the back.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Can I drop my pack and just crouch, getting ready for them to charge me?
Yeah, you can. let me just see how far away they are. I'll do it the old school way. 2, 10, 20. So they're about 60 feet away. Go ahead and make a D. You're a barkeep, right? Just make a D6 roll to see if that. We'll do it like a skill check to see if you kind of know how fast a wolf can run. You know, because you may or may not.
3.
3. Yeah, you're not sure. You think you can probably drop the pack off and get the spear back up, but you're not 100% sure. You know, you're not sure that you definitely can, but you're not sure you can't either, I guess is what I'll say there.
Okay, well, either way, I mean, I can't fight with the big pack in my back. So Hyperborea, like knowing he can't really fight with this big pack on his back, is going to drop it. He's going to tell the girl, get down, and, try and, if the wolves get to him before he can set up for their charge, then that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So they're charging at you. So now we'll roll initiative, which is a D6. You can be modified by your dex.
Okay.
4
total.
Okay, so you won the initiative. So now, all right. So we're in phase 1. You're going to drop your thing. They're moving. Let me see if they can actually get to you. That's what I want to see. I need to look. I actually don't know either how fast a wolf. Let me take a quick look at the wolf stat. So they're 60 feet away. If they can make the 60 feet, then they're going to be able to basically charge at you. If they can't, then you'll be able to get your spear back up. That's more or less it. Go to my animals. Bestiary, here we go. Wolf. All right, so wolf's movement is 40. No, that's Wolverine. Hold on, a wolf's movement. This was wolf. The wolf's movement is 60. Okay, so the wolf can actually get to you. So at least one of them is going to get to you before you can get your spear, because in phase 1 you took your pack off. Phase 1 they're charging, so they can move their full move and attack you. So one wolf is going to actually charge at. All right, so the wolves are one's gonna go after the pack. One's gonna, because you threw the pack on the ground, they know there's food in there. One's gonna actually go to that, and one's going to actually go after the girl, and one's gonna go after you. But since she's close to you, I'm gonna say that if the wolf does actually get on her, you can have a chance to do something. Boom, boom. Okay, so the wolf is attacking. It rolls 12. That does not hit you. I don't think your AC is 3, right? Crystal?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, 3.
Yeah. All right, yeah, no, it doesn't. So the one leaps at you, and you're able to, sidestep it or whatever. And the second one's going after the girl, but and maybe you actually move to the side and kind of get in a position where the girl is being blocked. You kind of step in front of her, and the other wolf kind of like veers off to the side, rolling only a 5. It doesn't hit anything. So now it's actually phase 2 and your turn. So you can attack if you want. There's 3 of those. One of them, 2 of them are basically now in front of you. One's kind of tearing it back up.
Okay. Whichever one got close to the girl a while ago, that would be the one that Hyperborea will definitely try and get first. Because if they attack him, that's not really a big deal. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's a total of 13 to hit. Yeah, 13, I want to say.
Their AC is 7, so let's see what's that hit.
All right, I forgot. I keep forgetting it's descending. So that hit AC 4.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits them. So give them.
And it's that D8 for damage on the Great Spear. Only 4 points of damage.
Okay, that you mortally wounded. I mean, you stab it, it doesn't die immediately, but it is very injured. Like you stab through this thing, and it actually starts to. I mean, it won't do it till it's its turn, but it actually you see that it retreats a bit back because you see that you've cut this thing very, very seriously. And okay, that's the end of that first round. The other wolves are staying back currently, especially after seeing that display. So the one is tearing your pack up. You can see now that like your tent and stuff is flying everywhere, and the rations and stuff like that. Anything you might have had in the pack that you don't have physically, in that pack, the big overpack, is getting torn up. So let's roll initiative again for the next round. I'm assuming you're just going to attack.
I'm sorry, it's a D6. 4 again.
Okay, yeah, you go first again. So the wolf that's in front of you. So like I say, one of them kind of staggers back with the, you basically you cut it down to the last, a couple of minutes left. So it's pretty hurt. The other one is a little slowed by that. So you can go first.
Okay. All right. I'll attempt to finish off the one that is obviously hurt. Same exact to hit. So 13. So that hits armor class 4.
Okay.
And that's a 5 damage.
Okay, yeah, you stab through. It's like stepping back. Maybe you got it in the forepaw, so it's trying to move back, but it's like dragging the one leg, so it's too slow, and you just jam the spear through it, and it drops with a terrible howl. At that, you're kind of moving forward, stabbing this thing. The other one jumps up at you and attacks you. With the 16, that is gonna. Hold on a second. Sorry, I wasn't planning on. Got the wolf out. Combat matrix. There we go. I switched pages, so I lost my combat matrix. So it's 2. I rolled 16, so it hits armor class 2. So that actually is enough to hit you. So the wolf hits for a d6 damage. Oof. Yeah, you come forward to stab this thing, kind of exposing yourself, and the wolf jumps up and probably grabs your arm or something, and tears through with 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty serious blow. It's grabbing onto you. Maybe the girl now is she's basically like, when you went forward, she's like holding onto you like right against your body, trying to hope no other wolves are going to be alarmed. You can see that the one is still distracted, eating your pack. There's one that's biting onto your arm. The other ones are still staying back at this point. You hear them howling and such, but they're basically staying back.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, what did you want to do this next round?
The one that's on my arm, I'm gonna attempt to like pin it down and stab it with my great spear.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. It's not technically holding you. So yeah, so it bit your arm and then it falls back down, I guess, because you can get it with a spear. So let's roll initiative. It's defending itself or trying to eat you at it anyways, as it would be. 4.
6.
Oh, you go first.
All right. So as the thing is like biting my arm, he'll I'm gonna guess probably like his secondary arm or whatever, and like so High kind of like lets out a yelp of pain, and the pain is like much greater than he expects as he hit a nat 1. He has to use his spear to actually like get him, like hold himself up. Plus his girl is like holding onto his legs, so it's like throwing his balance off and everything.
Yeah, she doesn't know what to do. Actually, let me just do a quick. Oh, okay. Well, actually, it's good that wasn't an attack roll for you. So a check for her, because I just rolled a 20. She starts to run. Actually, she starts to sprint, like just forward towards the cliffs. The wolf that's on you though is gonna having drawn blood, it feels the need to eat you, so it's going to, but it rolls a 7 and misses. So it is next round. What do you want to do? The girl's now, her movement is 40 because she's not encumbered either. So she runs forward. She's about 40 feet away from you now. Forward. Yeah.
Fuck.
Screaming.
Yeah, no, this is not good. Is the one wolf still on my pack?
The one wolf is yeah, that pack that had the rations and the tent and stuff. It's still at it, but by now it's consumed probably like most of the food you had left, and it's starting to realize that like
I
there's.
mean, as long as it's still distracted by my pack, that's fine.
Yeah, you think it'll be distracted a little bit longer, but you can see. I mean, a quick glimpse tells you that it's probably gonna not be distracted much longer.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, got to try and kill the wolf that's still on me. I mean, I have to try and get this wolf off of me.
All right, initiative.
Again.
All right, you go first. Go for it.
Nice. Okay. That's a 7. That's a 17. That would hit. And 9 points of damage to this wolf.
Oh. Pretty sure that's gonna kill it no matter what. No, let me roll. Okay. Yeah, that kills it. Yeah, these wolves. It's the winter. You know, they're not as hardy as they would be because there's not as much hunting going on. So yeah, you easily, this thing. Your second blow, you missed by a mile the first time, and then you come back and stab through this one, and it also whimpers and falls.
Can Haikatos, as he stabs through this thing, like pins it to the ground, can he yell to the girl like, "Drop down, play dead"?
Yeah, you can yell. It's actually, this is phase 1 of the melee. I'm just gonna.
I don't know if she'll do it, but that's what I would like to. That's how I would like to end that.
Yeah, you definitely can yell. Actually, the melee's not over because you still have half a. You can still do half your movement if you want, but they get to go first.
If I can do half of my movement,
well, not yet.
Oh,
you can't do it until phase 2 because phase 1 right now. I just have to see if this one that's on the pack is going to actually attack you or not.
Okay.
Because it's already finished off the pack, so it was up in the air this round. No, probably because of that blow that you did. It kind of like, it looks like it's going to attack, but then when you take out the other wolf so quickly, it backs off. It's an animal, so it kind of retreats a bit. So you can do half your movements. You can move 20 and yell.
Instead of like moving 20, could I pull out a hand axe?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do. Like I'll shoulder my great axe, and then my great spear. I'll like pull it from the wolf shouldering it, and then Hike will pull his hand axe into his free hand. The one that's all bloodied from the wolf bite right now.
Yeah, you definitely do that. You pull it up. Yeah, I mean, the great spear, you probably have maybe some rope or something that you use to kind of like, because it's not a throwing spear, so you probably have some means to just throw it over your shoulder. It's big, but you can definitely throw it over your shoulder. Okay, that's cool. So that's that round, because this wolf's not going to do anything this round. Next round, what do you want to do? You told her to get down though, right? Let me see if she gets down. She does not. She is running full pace.
Great. Hike. I mean, he's trying to make sure that these other he's trying to make sure these other wolves aren't going to go for her. So he'll start to like back off with his great spear like slung over his shoulder, his hand axe in his free hand, which is like bleeding blood getting down on the handle and everything. But he needs that in case they try and go to her, so he could try and throw it. But yeah, he'll start to just like kind of back off from the pack.
Okay, I mean, so do you want to go where she's going, which is forward?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but he's going backwards. Like he's walking backwards.
Yeah. Back. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna do that. So roll initiative to see who goes when. You got a 3.
6 again.
Okay, you're gonna go first. So do you just
want
to
5? Then I get a +1 deck. So
yeah, that's good. Do you want to do a full move?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so you're not gonna do anything else, right? You're just gonna move. Okay.
Yeah, and he'll yell to the girl like, "Stop running!"
Okay. Let's see if she runs still. Oh, man, she's yeah, she's running. She's now. This is the third round.
Stupid girl.
She's 120, movement away from you. She's pretty far away now. Like she's passed where the wolves are too. You're mostly at the back. Let's see. So she is a pretty good distance. This one that's right in front of you. All right. So let me just see. Okay, the one that was eating the pack, to tore up your pack is is kind of frightened, or I'll say, for lack of a better word, like it's kind of like howling and it's crouching down and kind of moving towards you, but it's not like getting any closer to you. It's probably moving at the same pace as you are, so keeping that distance. But one of the other ones is starting to run for the girl, and the wolf is running pretty fast, but it's not. The wolf is faster than you, but it's also further away. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically running. It won't get to her this round, but you think within a few seconds.
Like how far away is it from me?
It's like maybe another 20 feet.
Could I throw my hand axe and hit it?
Oh, can you hit it with the hand axe? It's 60 feet away. I don't know what the range is in the hand axe.
I have no idea.
Let's see, hand axe. 45. No, you'd have to move towards it to do it. You could try to cut it off and do it next round.
Yeah, that's what Hike will do. He'll try and cut it off.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll say that's possible. It was 20. All right, so it was 20 feet beyond you, so it's moving 60. That puts it 40. You can move and still throw the axe. You can move 20. So yeah, you can basically, if you win initiative, you'll be able to probably do it. If not, you won't be able to, basically.
This is the time I don't win initiative.
Right. Oh, I got a 5 that time, so roll good.
Yeah, no, 3.
Yeah, so you would have to move. You spend your first part of the movement moving, and then it also does that, and now it's too far away from the hand axe. It was 20 beyond, so she's moving 40. So it's going to catch up to her 20 each time, but she was 3 in front. So it'll take about 6 rounds for it to get to her. Let me make a little chart here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it would take about 6 rounds, and this is 1. So it's running towards her. Because wolves go after the weak.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. She's a stupid child, and she won't listen to me. The person who's been here is trying to freaking protect her. It's like, that's literally what my job is. See, had you let me have a fucking scene that first night, maybe we could have gained some trust with one another. But you're like, no, I just hand waved that. So I blame you.
You can blame me. That's fine. I don't do touchy-feely story game scenes. I do kill things. Maybe next time. Okay, so you can try to pursue the wolf. It's going to come down to, there's like a chase here. So basically, you would be able to. You couldn't cut it off. It's moving 60. You can move. You can actually run to go faster. Hold on a second. Let me just check something. No, you actually can't. The wolf's faster than you. You're not gonna be able to outpace the wolf. Basically, what will end up happening here, we don't have to play it out each round, is the wolf's gonna get to her about a round before you will. So it kind of comes down to.
I mean, she's dead, so.
Yeah, a round before you can get close enough with the hand axe. So 2 rounds before you actually get to her. So let's just.
So I can't run for. I cannot in any way get this wolf with the hand, throw the hand axe to get it.
Well, the wolf is faster than you are, and it's further away than the range of the hand axe. So each round it gets further away from you. Because you can only move 40, and the wolf moves 60.
Okay.
Because it was already 60 away from you, so it was already a distance, and even by cutting, now you're in a straight line. So you can basically, unless you, I don't think you have any real missile weapons, so you're not going to be able to. What did you get?
Funny because I thought at the beginning, I'd like a short bow, but then I was like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah, I rolled randomly. Didn't you just get a bunch of magic items? You got nothing that can do anything, right?
No.
Okay. Well, then what's going to happen here is she's going to. Let's just cut forward to it. So, what'll happen is the wolf will get to her and get an attack, and then the next round we can roll initiative, and assuming whatever she's still up and whatever you can, you might be able to kill it with a hand axe. So let me see if the wolf hits her. The wolf rolled an 8, which I don't think is going to hit her. That is a terrible wolf. These wolves are bad on the first attack. All right, so it's a nope. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit anything. So it leaps at her, and she surprisingly, dodges out of the way, and then you'll be close enough this round to throw the axe at the beginning of the round if you win initiative, or if you're willing to run the whole distance, and if you'd rather use the spear, you can do that. But then it'll get an attack on her for sure. That's kind of.
I mean, I'll attempt with the hand axe at least.
Okay, so let's roll initiative.
3.
Oh, 5. Now I'm beating you in initiative. Okay, it's going to get.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew that would happen.
My die went the other way. It was like rolling all ones earlier. All right, it's going to get another attack on her. Oh my god, I rolled a 9. And a 9 hits. Ooh. All right, let's see. Wolf damage.
Okay, well, guess I'll just head back the other way now. No need for me to make it the rest of the village.
The wolf pounces on her, and you hear her scream as the wolf lands on her with its claws, or bite or whatever on it. I mean, you don't know. You can't tell at this moment if she's dead or whatever. You're too far away.
I told her to stop running.
You're 45 feet away, so you don't really have a. So you're throwing it at her, right? So you're going to be long range, so -5.
Well, I can't just close in now?
Well, no, you made the choice. I asked you if you wanted to close in and use the spear.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. -5 is up. So, and I rolled in that one.
Jeez. Okay. So you throw the axe, maybe you're trying not to hit her. I mean, who knows exactly why. I mean, your hand's slippery from the blood.
I mean, I probably, a combination of like frozen blood and also like this girl is stupid. She's so stupid. Why won't she listen to me? Stop being stupid. And then like all of those factors of like panic and everything setting in. It's just I don't even try anymore because I'm like, she's dead. When I see that wolf hit her, I'm like, I already know she's dead. It's not even really worth trying to save her now.
Okay, well, that's a negative way to be, but
I mean, it's realistic, and you can call it negative, but
I'm not calling it anything. I'm just the referee here. So
you literally just said that's a negative way to look at it.
Yeah, I did say that, but all right. So all right, that's it. The wolf's clearly gonna just attack her. You can actually, since you have a spear, you can charge attack the wolf, but you're gonna need to win initiative if you want to go before it. So initiative again. 5.
7. Yeah, of course.
All right. So if you want to charge in with the spear, you can do a full move with the charge.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep, half charge and attack. That should be fine because you're.
And I rolled a 17 with 9 damage.
Okay. Actually, I did that wrong, but I said it was what I said was the way it's going to be because that's what I judged, but I read it wrong. So actually, because you have to move more than 45, it would actually be you'd attack at the end, but that's okay. I already said you were attacking first, so let me roll its hit points. Oh. Just so we remember for next time. You can only charge 7. Okay, that actually doesn't kill it. Wow. 9 damage, right? Okay. Yeah, it has 13 hit points. So
okay,
that's the first one. The other 2 wolves had 4 hit points and 3 hit points, or something like that. It was like so stupid.
Cool.
All right, so it's going to get an attack on her, unfortunately. Oh my god! And it rolls a 1. So you come charging at this thing and you jam into it just as its bite's coming down on her neck, and the force of your spear pulls it back so it clamps down on air. And now you're facing off against the wolf over the body of the girl laying in the snow. And I'm assuming you want to attack it. So let's roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 6.
4.
Okay, but it's going to attack you now because, clearly. So the wolf, it's bleeding, but this has got to be the alpha with 13 hit points. So it growls strongly at you and tries to leap forward. With a 10, it's going to miss you for sure. So it leaps forward and misses. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, go.
Okay. Let's see. That hits armor class 5. Will that hit it?
Yeah, I think they're armor class 7.
Okay, cool. And that's max damage. So as it's coming down, I push my spear into the ground, and it just like slams its like neck onto my spear. 10 damage.
Yeah, it basically you impale this thing, and it falls onto the ground. Kind of steam coming off the blood as it pours out onto the snow, and you see the girl laying there, and she's got a big scratch across like her face and neck, and she's looking at you, kind of blinking with tears in her eyes that are kind of half frozen because of the snow. And she's alive because she had 4 hit points and she only took 2 damage. So surprisingly.
Are there any other wolves?
Question. Let's check more. I'll check on the rest of the wolves you've killed. No. You hear some howling and stuff, but none of them are moving forward. Like they're kind of running off, like howling, then turning back, then howling, then turning back.
So they're running off? They're
running off, yeah.
All right, awesome. So Hike will quickly drop his spear. He turns to the girl. He pulls a this weird looking jug from his hip, and he pops the cork on it and says, take a sip.
Okay, she does. She's clearly very frightened, and yeah.
And he'll for 1d8 plus 1 hit points, which that'll be enough to heal her.
Okay, yeah. So she drinks it, and she kind of she sips it, and then she the wind's blowing, she kind of pulls her stuff back up over her face, and she said, and you hear her kind of muffled. She says, "Thank you. I feel better. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do. They were going to."
Yeah, Hike will just kind of next time, drop and play dead, and then he just kind of gets up and corks his bottle back, starts heading back over towards the tent stuff. He'll grab his spear again.
You're going to go back to the ruined pack with all the gear?
Yeah, the wolves are running away, right?
Yeah. So
you
can go back to it.
See what he can scavenge. If nothing else, he could use the tent to maybe wrap his arm up or something.
Yeah, stuff is basically trashed, but you can probably recover some of it. You can recover the blankets. You're gonna hopefully. Unless something happens, you're gonna hopefully be at the monastery tonight. But you definitely can take. You only do it for the way home, I guess. So you recover some of it. We'll say we'll deal with that on the way back if we need to. But you take what you can. There's some bandages or whatever. Whatever else.
That's good. He'll bandage his arm up and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have some miscellaneous gear that's probably mixed in with that stuff. So you take what you need to, and you're heading towards the cliffs. Like I said, as you can see the ice, the sun shining on them. And every once in a while, you kind of hear some yelping, and you turn around and you don't see the wolves anymore. But you feel like there's a good chance they might just be kind of watching you. But they don't all the ways to the staircase that seems to head up. They don't bother you again as you're working your way up the stairs towards the monastery. Cool.
Okay. So yeah, he'll head up to the monastery then to find the person in charge there.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if we're gonna have some kind of scene or if you're hand waving the whole thing or.
Yeah.
But he would like to tell the person who's in charge here about the wolves out on the trail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That he should probably send some hunters or Hykenthos says that he would go ahead and finish them off if they were willing to pay him to do that.
Okay, yeah, that seems like a plan. You're gonna climb the mountain first, but you're climbing up. It takes you till later in the afternoon. It's maybe around 4:00, and as was earlier, it's less windy at first, but then you're thinking, oh, good, but then it starts to snow. So as you're kind of heading up, it's a little treacherous and stuff, but again, you're equipped for it, so it's not a really big deal. And you work your way up to to where the monastery should be, and the first thing that you notice, as you start to head towards this thing, is that there's kind of like a large set of doors. It doesn't look like this picture I just put to it. There's like a large set of double doors in the front, and they're open. And you can actually see, because it's been snowing a bit, that some of the snow is kind of piled, like kind of in the doorway a little bit. And you're probably like 100 yards away at this point. You don't see any signs of any people yet.
All right.
Yeah.
Hackenthos is going to take the pack off his back again, whatever is left of it. He's going to say to the girl, stay close, but not too close. And he'll start making his way up with the spear.
Yeah, she probably hasn't left your side more than like a foot or so ever since the incident with the wolf. You've definitely gained, her trust and respect there as far as being a warrior. And as you head closer, you can actually see now that you're about maybe like a couple 100 feet away, maybe 100 feet away. You can see that the area in front of the door, which again is kind of partially open with some snow blowing in, you see kind of a rusty red kind of patch kind of in front of it, a pretty large one.
Is there anywhere outside here that the girl could maybe hide?
I mean, not really. You're kind of on the there's like trees and stuff, and it doesn't look like this picture. I just put that there. It's kind of in like a little valley area. So yeah, she could get behind something. Sure, get behind a tree or behind a snow mound or something.
Okay. So Hackenthos will turn to her and say, I need you to hide for now. I'll come and find you, but I need you to stay hidden until I say otherwise.
Okay. Okay. I will, but don't leave me for long. It's cold.
I understand.
You definitely know it's getting noticeably colder.
Oh yeah. No, like he doesn't want to like leave her for too long. He's got to check out what's ahead first.
For sure.
So he wants to sneak over to the house as best he can, to the building.
All right, yeah. You can walk over. You want to approach quietly or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, it's dead quiet up here, so you can roll. If you want to roll a move silent, you can do that. To be like extra quiet. Why not? Great thief.
Yeah.
That's a D12.
Move silently. That's a 8 and 12. Pretty good. Do I like get a dex mod or anything like that? Huh?
I already factored it in.
Oh, okay. All right. 10. So no. He's moving. He thinks he's moving silently up to the house.
Exactly. Yeah, you're moving up. Making no noise. So I got some box text. On the ground close to the doors of the monastery, there's a large reddish-colored area in the snow. You notice a broken sword nearby, and a trail of the same reddish color leads from this spot into the doors. And then of course part of it's covered with snow. So, let's see. Then another trail like this leads around the building. So the building itself, let me just give you a description of the building so you got a feel for it. It's basically, it's like a T-shaped building. So you're kind of in the front of it like this. There's a big set of doors in front of it. That's all you can see. It's actually one story. It kind of like is a relatively wide front, and then you can see down both sides like the building extends. So it's like a T, but it's kind of like this is in the picture. It's kind of like stuck into a corner. So you could get around it. Unlike this, it's not completely on a cliff like that. But it's pretty close, pretty, it's pretty tight to the mountain. I mean, but you can see around, I guess it would be the left side as you're looking at it. You can see that there's like a bit of a trail of this red that goes around it and actually does go behind it. But back there, it's only maybe as wide as like 10 feet. Like it's pretty narrow.
Yeah, so he will kind of curse under his breath like, I knew I should have brought it up. And he'll make his way up to the door real quick.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk up to the door. It's partially open. You could probably look in if you want. I'm assuming that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking into kind of like an entryway.
He's gonna kind of he wants to like move up to like the building basically and like hug the building and just kind of like very carefully peek around inside. He's not gonna like walk straight up to the front door.
Yeah, I mean it's open like a crack, so you can come to one side of it and kind of like look in, so you can even see part of the room before you even peek, really, before you put yourself in the position where you could be seen, I guess. Um, yeah, you're looking at a room, and you kind of do that, and you kind of come and you look at the whole room. It's like a 10 foot deep by about maybe 30 foot long room. You don't think it takes the entire front of the building, so there's probably some other side rooms, I should say. Let's see what it says. Let's see what the box text says. Oh, is that there? Yes, it is. Okay. A terrible sight meets your eyes when you look through the monastery doors into the small inner chamber beyond. The expressionless face of a man's severed head stares blankly back at you from atop a pile of badly mauled human corpses stacked against the far wall. All of these bodies wear thick robes decorated with holy symbols. And you would recognize them as the of Helios, which is what this monastery is. Um, on the floor is covered with frozen pool of blood. So basically, there's a pile of bodies with blood, but of course it's so cold that it's frozen, so it's like a little pool of blood. And looking beyond the bodies, there's another set of doors that going deeper into the building.
Okay. He's gonna hug the building and follow that blood trail, and peek around the corner of the tape.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. You kind of stick with the building and you kind of move yourself around, and you can see that this trail seems to go off behind the building. It goes a bit. I mean, it's good if you want to follow it. You're going to be going maybe like 10 minutes or so at least to get to where where it turns next. So you can kind of see where it goes up and then it turns, but it's a bit of a walk and it's kind of precarious.
All right.
All this having taken already, a few, 5-6 minutes to do all this slowly.
Yeah, having this girl here makes this so much harder. All right.
Evil.
And you said there was just another set of double doors in there.
Yeah, they'd probably go deeper into the monastery. You don't see any it's like an antechamber, so like there's people will probably go in there, close that door, then open up the other door so you don't let the heat out and stuff.
All right. He's gonna head inside the building real quick then.
Mm-hmm.
And he will he'll move to crack the door and the next door, and he wants to look into the next room.
Yeah, sure. So you move through there. Around these bodies that are strewn. They're not like right up against the door, so they're like in the center of the room. You just walk around them, and kind of crack that door open and look in. You're looking into a much larger room now. It's maybe like 50 by 50. Let's see. An altar stands on a low dais at the far end of the large room. On the floor in front of it are several low wooden benches arranged chaotically as if thrown about. To each side of the altar stands a tall, unlit brazier. There's several gold ornaments on the altar, and the beautiful tapestries depicting serene mountain landscapes decorate some of the stone walls. So it's a big, looks like a temple basically. And you're looking in, you see this large altar all the way to the other side. There's some benches, but again, it looks like they've been thrown around. There's a couple pillars kind of holding the ceiling up. And then also on that far wall that the altar's on either side of it are two kind of normal doors. And as you kind of like peek in and maybe like look around to get a full scope of the room, there's actually two more doors on the wall that you're coming from. So, on either side of you. So there's a total of 5 doors, basically. The one you're coming through, and then 2 all the ways to the north, we'll say, and then 2 on the south wall where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks empty.
Are there any chests or anything in this area? Any big boxes or big like barrels or anything like that?
No, not in either one of the 2 rooms do you see that.
Okay.
Okay, now it's been about 15 minutes if you're going slow and taking time.
Oh, I was assuming I was kind of quickly.
You get quick and silent.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. All right, then he's going to quickly head back out to the girl. It's getting dark. I mean,
Yeah. Come out. Yeah.
is in there at the moment, and he's going to have to get her some protection.
Yeah, when you get to her, she's like shivering by the tree, and she's actually looking. She almost doesn't move. Like for a second, you think maybe like she froze to death because she doesn't even move at all when you get there. And then, as you kind of shake her, she kind of moves. She was starting to fall into that kind of snow sleep that you get when you start to get really cold.
Yeah. No. Okay, so he'll pick her up. He will sling his spear over his back, like he has a rope or whatever tied to it, like you said, and he's gonna like pick her up, cradle her like in his arms. He's gonna tell her, close your eyes and do not open them.
Okay. I mean, as far as you know, she does. She has like a mask on.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna hope she does. And then he'll quickly move up to the temple, and that first set of doors where the bodies are, he will shut the door behind him.
Okay.
And then he will take her to the next room and shut those doors as well.
Okay, so into the altar.
It was I'm assuming they close in, so he can use his feet to kick the doors closed.
Yeah, you can close them. Everything's really well made, so the doors just open and close, no problem. You do notice as you're kind of turning back to close doors that. Did you close the front door, or you just closed that one door?
I closed both of them.
Okay. Well, you notice on this door there's actually a means to drop like a plank to kind of lock it from the inside, like to fortify it. But there's no lock besides that. It's just basically and it will, of course, clearly it's not locked when you do it, but you can close it no problem. But it'll open back up if somebody tries to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't know if there's someone in the temple. It might be.
You don't see anyway. So let me give it to you one more time so you know the layout. So directly across from you, so you came in from the south. Directly across from you, you've got like a raised dais with an altar on it. There's regular altar stuff on there, gold chalices and stuff. There's some tapestries. It looks like there's probably benches here that were for prayer, but whoever did whatever happened, toss them around so the benches are like strewn. But as you're looking kind of straight ahead of you where the altar is, on either side of the altar, there are doors. Let me just quickly check these two doors. Because the one thing that modules never tell you is if there's anything up at the door until you go into the next room. Yeah, they're just regular wooden doors, looks like. And again, if you were to turn around like this and look behind you, you came through a door in the center of the wall. On either side of you, there's doors as well.
Okay, he's going to go to the left first and go to the door on the left.
Okay, on the wall that you're coming from, or on the opposite wall?
On the wall I'm coming from.
Okay.
I walked in, I closed the doors, I turn left and go to the door.
Okay, you go to the east door. All right.
Yeah.
It's a regular wooden door. Handle on it. Doesn't seem to have a lock or anything.
He's just going to try and push it open with his foot, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you have to turn the handle, but you can do it with the girl. I mean, it's awkward, but you can do it. It's basically a small room, maybe 10-foot square. It's got leaning against the wall, would be your left wall as you're coming in, is a heavy crossbow and like a little barrel with some bolts in it. You also see a small bench, and otherwise the room is empty.
Okay. In this big room, is there a place where there could be a fire or anything?
I mean, there's two braziers, but they're not lit. You'd have to light them.
All right.
Yeah, the monastery itself is cold.
He's glad to see the. Can he use a heavy crossbow?
You are not proficient, so you would be -2, I believe. If you want.
Okay, all right. Heavy crossbow, of course. Yeah. He says under his breath. Could have been a light one.
Yeah, I actually had to check that too because I use it. Yeah, I made it. You're -2 to hit if you want to use it because you're not proficient.
Okay. He'll rush over to the other door, to the west door.
Okay. It's basically a twin of this room, except in this one there's also a little winch system. It looks like probably and actually as you notice the winch system, you notice that a rope goes through the wall, and you kind of look at the wall closely, and you can see there's almost like arrow slits in the wall, 2 of them below that. So clearly somebody with a crossbow could shoot through it. The winch seems to go to a rope that you can actually lower to lock the front door with a piece of timber with some wood. Bar the door, I guess is the way you'd say it. I don't know.
Okay.
That word always. Yeah.
I guess he will lay the girl down then. I mean, I hope there's nothing in the temple because he could just be locking himself in the temple with something.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you don't have to lock it, I'm just saying that would be the means to do it. That's kind of your options. You haven't done any of that.
Well, yet. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think it's better safe than sorry. Even though he hasn't checked the whole temple yet, better safe than sorry. He'll go ahead and bar the door closed. I mean, if there is something in here with him, hopefully he can just kill whatever is in here with him.
Yeah, that's true. So you're gonna bar the outer door or both of them?
Both of them.
Okay. I mean, this one you can do with her. Basically, you can like sling her. Like, I mean, she's not tiny. I mean, she's a child. She's a 12-year-old child. She's not super small. She's gonna be on her. You can put her on the bench or whatever while you do it. Because there's a little seat in here. But yeah, she's definitely very, very cold, and it is cold in here. It's not as cold as it's outside, clearly, but it's definitely cold in here.
Yeah, he'll tell her like, just give me a second. We'll get you some heat.
Yeah.
And once he's barred the doors, he will grab her again. He'll quickly go up to the altar area and look in the braziers to see if there's anything in there that he can actually light.
It looks like it burned out. Like you see ashes, like it hasn't been cleaned. You know, it's basically like it burned down, whatever was burning in it, and there's nothing in there now.
All right. Are any of the pews that were here still like upright?
You could stand one up, but they're all knocked over.
Okay. So none of them you could like. I couldn't sit the girl on one of them.
Yeah, if you stand it up. I mean, they're just knocked over.
Okay. So yeah, he will. He'll stand it. He'll stand one up then. He'll lay her on it.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, she definitely will sit on the pew. You know, some of them are like broken, but yeah, you can stand. There's one that you can stand up, I'm sure, and put her on.
Okay. And he'll say like, stay here. I'll be right back. If you see anything, something happens, yell. And then he
nods her head very almost drunkenly, because she's out of it.
He then takes his dagger,
mm-hmm.
and he's going to he'll like tuck it into like her inner jacket or something, and like somewhere where it'll be kind of hidden, and say just in case. And then he's going to turn around,
mm-hmm.
and hopefully she doesn't stab herself with that.
Well, she's not an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, the wolves situation earlier. I'm not confident about that.
She's, a little girl. What would you do?
Well, I mean, like, I would have just gone Wonder Woman on them. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. You would have, but I mean, most little girls wouldn't.
Okay, so, all right, then Hike is going to, let's call it left door that was across from the 1C lot.
Okay. Well, it's not. There's actually two doors on that wall. So there's east and west.
West.
Okay. All right. I dropped my pencil with them. I have to have a pencil when I DM so I can make notes of all the crazy stuff you do.
And basically, he's trying to look for right now, like storage where they'd store like wood or like firewood. Either that, or if he finds a bedroom that has like a fire pit in it, that would also be really nice.
All right, sounds good. Let's see. This apparently is dining hall, and actually, when you open the door to the west, you kind of look in, and you can see that the door on the east would have led to the same place, just a different spot in the room. This is the dining hall. Large dining table in the room is set with 7 bowls, lined with unidentifiable scraps of food. There's a loaf of bread in the middle of the table. Several bottles stand around it. There's an iron cauldron hanging from a hook on a large fireplace to the north wall. The cauldron's hanging there. The fireplace, it's out. Like there's not a fire burning.
Is there any firewood?
Yeah, there's some wood there.
Great. Is there any other doors?
Yeah, so in here you're looking at a room it's the same width more or less as the room you just came out of, but not quite as deep. And on the east, there's a lot of doors in this room. On the east wall, so the fireplace is on the north wall, so it's directly across from you. The table's in the center of the room, clearly. There's a door on the east wall, and then there's kind of like, if you were to go to all the way to the northern side of the room and look down, there's like a hallway that goes down there. So there's a door on the east. There's 1, 2, 3 doors on the north, 4 doors on the north wall, if you follow all of them down the hallway, and a door all the ways on the west, and then a door on the south of that hallway. So you've got basically, let me draw it for you. Actually, let me just show you the map, because it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I'm imagining it's just a hall with like basically bedrooms.
Yeah, this is a hall. Exactly, it's a hall. But you got a lot of doors that you can explore. There's the door to the east. So on the let's take the east side of the room. On the east side of the room, like east of the fireplace, there is a door on the east wall, and there's a door on the north wall of that part of the room. Then on the other side of the fireplace is basically a hallway with a whole bunch of doors. So you can explore it in sections if you want. But if you want to light a fire here, you can do that. I mean, it won't take you too long. The pot looked like it had some kind of like porridge or something in it, and it's clearly cold now. It's frozen, basically. But yeah, it doesn't take you long to get a fire going. I mean, there's all the.
Well, I don't want to do it yet. Not here. Maybe not here. I'm trying to the safe place is safe first. So
okay.
Before he does that, I mean, she'll be okay now that she's inside. She'll be okay for at least a minute. Right?
I mean, it's cold in here. Yeah,
my character thinks that she's in immediate danger.
I mean, from the cold, probably, yeah. But I mean, you haven't seen any monsters, and you've locked all the doors as far as you can tell.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what your character.
Okay, my character will take some of this wood then, yeah, and he'll throw it in the fireplace. He'll start trying to build the fire up.
Okay.
And then he will
roll a d6. I mean, you're going to be able to. I just want to see how long it takes.
If the fire elemental rises 1.
1. Okay, good. Yeah, you get it going pretty quickly.
All right.
That would be I bet.
It'll be like, what you didn't know was the chimney was clogged, and now the place starts to fill with smoke.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so he'll rush back, grab the girl.
And again, like, you're not like taking a lot of time to really explore, but there's some things that would be pretty common. You're an adult alive in this world. You notice that the fireplace itself is very like it had a lot of ashes in it, as if like whatever was in there completely burned away, which you would know that, that's obviously, it's not common for people to do that. Usually you would keep putting more wood in.
Right, yeah.
So it's definitely, or if it was empty, it'd be empty, completely empty, like cleaned out, like they were trying to clean it. But this looks more like they just let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The fireplace
well, he's not going to bother cleaning it right now either. He's trying.
No, you're fine. You have
to. Yeah.
Bargain for it. Chimney sweeps.
So he will go and get the girl.
Okay.
Is there like a wooden spoon where he could stir like the stew and stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Hopefully it's not poison.
Yeah, I mean, there's food. There's basically you as you look around the now you can identify because you saw the pot. There's basically some of this porridge in all the different bowls. It looks like somebody had put it out to eat. Maybe to serve it, and then it doesn't look like it's been eaten. All the silverware seems clear, but it'll take a little while. But you can heat it back up. I mean, the room starts. Being that it's so cold, any heat makes a huge difference. And as soon as you light the fire, and she just gets close to it, she starts to feel a lot better. She tells you, and she's little by little kind of
and he says
unbuttoning her coat or whatever. She's feeling like a little bit better.
And he says, keep that for now. And he taps the dagger just in case.
Okay.
He says, once the soup and once it gets warmed up again and stuff, he'll get her a bowl and so that she can eat, and he'll tell her, I'm going to check the rest of the place out, make sure there are no more open doors or anything.
All right, so you're going to wait till the soup's warmed up?
Yeah.
Okay. So the soup gets warmed up, and you're able to whatever, if you want to use a clean bowl or use one of the bowls that was already there, you dump it out, whatever. You notice, too, that there's some kind of drink on the table that could be consumed, and also there's bread. So there's food there. And it looks because it's so cold. It's not moldy or anything, so you don't know how long it's been here, but the cold has preserved it for sure. And yeah, she sits down happily to eat at the table.
Yep. Okay. And
roll a d20.
Oh, great. Okay. 2.
You notice when she kind of like takes off her furs and stuff that gash that was on her face doesn't seem to have healed. Like you would think with a magical potion that like they'd be at first you thought maybe there was just blood on it, but you can actually see that it's still cut.
Okay. All right. He'll tell her. He'll tell her stay here while I check the rest of this place out. He will grab his great spear.
Okay.
And he'll start. He'll go to the next nearest room. He'll save the hallway for a little later.
Okay, so basically the east would be a door that you could go through, or the north, northeast basically.
East.
Oh, see. Okay. So, all right. So you open this door. It's kind of a regular interior wooden door. It's the kitchen. It's pretty clearly a kitchen. Monastery kitchen. Look, it looks as if a tornado has come through. Yeah, everything's like thrown on the ground, smashed. You see bread and pastries and jelly and stuff all smashed on the ground. There's a fireplace in here too, but it's out, of course. And on the northern side of this room, there's also a door, but that door is smashed in. So, I mean, if you proceed into the room, you could probably see into that room. But right now, I'm putting you at the doorway because you haven't said you're going in yet.
Okay.
And it smells of cinnamon.
You said there is another door in this room?
Yeah, to the north. There is a door to the north that's been smashed, but you'd have to go about 25 feet into the room to see what's past there.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and go check it out.
Okay, yeah. So you make your way up to the door and you peek in there. That looks like it's some kind of a pantry. It's barrels and crates in this room have been smashed open, spilling their contents of flour, salt, dried meat all over the floor. You can see there's a huge like side of beef that's all like a salted beef thing in the center, and it looks like it's been gnawed at. One wall's lined with shelves, still holding bottles of various shapes and sizes. So the whole place isn't smashed, but a lot of it's smashed, and you can see that something took some serious bites out of this side of beef.
I mean, does it look like canine bites?
Roll a d6 for a check. Let's 6. Yeah, it could be. It's hard to say, It definitely it looks like it probably doesn't look like a single canine bite, or if it did, it looks like it's a big canine bite. But yeah, it looks like it could be canine.
Okay. Any other doors in this room?
Yeah, there's a door on the west wall. And this door was not in that main room, the dining room that you're in, so this clearly leads into a different space.
Okay, I'll continue to explore that way then.
Okay, that door. Okay, so that's open. So that one's unlocked. So you pop in. It's a small corridor. You see a door to your right, which would be north. That's a big, heavy door. To the south, you see kind of a regular door, and directly across from you see a regular door. The one to the south, you can pretty much surmise that it goes back into the dining room.
Okay.
So the one to your right, I mean, you're not an idiot. So like it's an exterior door for sure. It's like a big, heavy exterior door.
Can he secure that door?
It's locked.
Good. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a bar across it. It just has like a regular lock, a pretty heavy duty lock, and it is in fact locked.
Okay. Then he will head back towards the dining room. Then
There's one other door here. Sorry if I wasn't clear. If you want to check out.
Okay. Yeah, he'll check out any place where he'll check out the last door then.
Okay. Yeah. So you open up that. Oh no, that's locked. So there's one more door here, but it's locked. It goes to.
He'll reach into his pouch and pull out his thieves' tools.
Oh. Clever.
And see if he can pick this lock. I mean, there's no one here now, so whatever secrets this place holds, he might need to know.
Go for it. It's a D12 roll.
Yeah. Let's see. And my open locks is a 6 and 12. Oh, really? 5. I got it.
Hey. Yeah, you fiddle around with it a little bit and the lock pops. And you're able to open the door up and look in, and you're looking at a storage room. The walls are lined with piles of wood, sacks of charcoal. There's a huge barrel that's marked lamp oil. There's some smaller barrels that have like cooking oils in them. There's an open crate that you see that's full of paper and books.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Well, I'm actually glad I know that. This room is here now. All right. So he'll shut that door, and he will use the door you said went back towards the dining room area to go back there.
Okay. Sure. My pencil's escaping me. Why do I keep losing this thing? I'm going to put a rope on it like your spear. All right, so you go back down to the dining room. She's, finishing up her porridge, and she looks up, scared, of course, when the door opens. So it's a different door. She kind of almost reaches for that dagger, and then maybe drops it on the ground, and then scatters, picks it up again, and then notices that it's you. And she says, "Oh, thank God you're back. I thought I heard some noises."
Where'd you hear them from?
From where you just came from.
Oh. Well, you probably did hear noises. They were probably me.
Maybe. But also behind the fireplace. But that could have been the wood, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm just kind of scared. I don't know.
All right. Well,
there's supposed to be monks here, but I haven't seen any monks yet.
I think they're on vacation. No need to worry. You just stay here. I'm going to check out the rest of the place and then check out the bedrooms.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you want to start to walk down that corridor, essentially, as you start to walk, there's one door that's kind of right before you leave this room is on the north wall. Oh, you're just telling her that. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
I thought you were telling me.
I'm sorry. Did I explore everywhere else in here? Oh, okay. So
there's one more. This room is kind of like it opens up into a hallway, so it's kind of like a weird shaped area. There's one more door that's like in the room proper. That's on the northern.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to check out first. I want to before I'll check out that corridor last.
Yeah,
is my plan.
Okay, it's unlocked. Simple door. When you open it up, it's a bedroom.
Oh.
Let's see. It's a simple bedroom. There's a small table. There's a little closet area. There's like a bowl for cleaning, like cleaning yourself. And you notice there's a piece of parchment lying on the table.
Okay. Fireplace in here?
There's like a brazier. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. He'll move in. He'll grab a few pieces of wood from the fireplaces in the kitchen or whatever. Start taking them towards the brazier. He'll pick up the parchment on the way.
Okay, yeah, the parchment is it's a note, it's in common tongue or whatever known. It's actually welcoming Erin. So this was clearly a room that was set up for her. And yeah, there's actually in this room there's like charcoal and stuff for the brazier, so that's probably where you're getting it from. So you just scoop it up and you can this room is definitely prepped for her. And actually when you look in the brazier, there's actually charcoal in there and some tinder. And it's not lit, so it's almost like they prepped it. But since she hasn't shown up yet, nobody lit it.
Yeah. Okay, so he'll go ahead and he's gonna slip that that note into his pocket.
Okay.
And he's gonna light that brazier for her.
Okay.
And then he will come back out and say, "Found your room."
All right, she looks wearily, she's pretty beat up and tired, so she kind of gets up and walks towards the room you send her to, and she looks in. I mean, it's basically, it's a room. It's got the furs in the bed and it's got whatever. So she she looks, like as if for some direction.
Is there like a lock on the door?
No.
For the door?
Nope.
Is there a keyhole so that he could lock it with his thieves' tools?
Nope.
And nothing he could like lock the door with?
Nope.
Okay.
No, this room doesn't have any kind of a keyhole or any kind of a lock. It's just got a little, like a handle, a pull handle.
All right. So he says, he grabs a chair from the dining room, and he puts it in this room, and he says, all right, I'm going to close this door. Brace that chair underneath the doorknob, and don't open it unless I say so.
She kind of opens her eyes really wide, like she feels like what's going on, but she nods and does it.
So yeah, so he will close the door behind him, and and wait till he hears the door be braced.
And she does it.
Okay, so then he will take his spear and he'll take a piece of bread and take a bite from it real quick. Maybe dip it in some soup and take a few bites.
That's pretty good.
He had time to like eat anything, and then he'll toss down the piece of bread and continue down to that corridor with his spear ready.
Okay. Yeah. So you start to walk down. Basically, as you're walking down the corridor, this door, the first doors you pass is one on the north wall and the south wall. So, let me get a glass of water. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I didn't have any water, but I had Coke.
Okay.
I mean, Coke is mostly water, right? And sugar. All right. So this door's basically to the east. As you're looking down the corridor, there's a bunch of doors, but the first two doors you come to, there's one on either side of you. There's on the north side, and then on the south side.
North side.
Yeah. So the north side would be the same side as the girls, as the girls' room. So you pop that door. Again, no lock or anything on it. This is a bedroom. This one looks like it's been lived in. There's two beds in here. You can see some. There's two small desks. You see some like prayer books on them, and you see some like holy symbols, and it looks like it's probably the rooms of the monks. You would guess.
Okay. Nothing special in here or anything?
You want to search around?
Yeah. Sure. He'd like, I guess, mostly to look for keys and stuff.
Okay. To look for what? Keys?
Keys, okay. Yeah.
Let's see. This is room 10. Okay. Okay, so you look around. No, you don't find any keys in here. You actually find that though that one of the there's like two like chests, foot lockers or whatever. Even though that both of the beds have furs on them, and both of them have there's two desks with stuff on it. That one of the foot lockers is empty, where the other one has clothes. But otherwise, you don't see any any kind of keys or anything like that here. Also, make a d20 roll for me.
8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
You hear kind of a loud sound. It sounds kind of like a howl, but it's hard to say because you're inside of a building that's made of stone. But it's kind of like a deep howl. It's kind of like, from outside, clearly, not from inside.
Well, I'm glad it's outside. Okay, head to the south room.
Okay, the south room is, I believe. Okay, this room also has 2 beds in it. But you see hanging along the wall, as soon as you come in, there's 2 kind of like racks where there's armor, banded mail. And the armor is like emblazoned with the holy symbol of Helios. So then there's 2 swords next to it. And actually, you didn't take a really good look at the sword that was broken in the front, but you would notice pretty quickly that it's a similar kind of sword. So this looks like maybe some kind of guards or something, bedroom.
Okay. Oh, all right. He'll head down to the next set of doors, and I guess still north and south again, right?
Yeah. So then now, as you go down, make another d20 roll for me.
9.
Okay, you hear something. It sounds like something smashes like at or through the door in the front, because you hear a terribly loud smash. There's basically 2 doors now left. One is kind of all the ways at the end on the would be the west wall, and then one is on the north wall, right adjacent to it.
Okay. Then he will rush back down to the kitchen area.
Okay.
To
the dining room? Or you want to go to the kitchen?
Yeah, to the dining room. He'll head out. He'll go ahead and head out to the main chapel area.
Okay. Yeah, you head out to the chapel, and you can hear pretty distinctly. I mean, now because you're so close to it, something is pounding at the door. That is, between you and it. So it clearly made it through the first door already, but it seems to be halted at this door.
Okay. He's going to run to the room that had the large crossbow in it.
Okay, which one? West?
It was
the closest one to you would be east. No, I'm sorry. The closest one, the closest one to you would be west. Sorry, I said that wrong.
The west was the one that had the heavy crossbow. I'm pretty sure.
Well, they both had crossbows. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they both had crossbows, and I mean, you would probably have figured out that they both have the arrow slits. You only noticed them in the east one because of the rope going through the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Whichever one then. He's gonna run and try and grab a heavy crossbow real quick.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because if you go to the one on the west, you can get there in one movement. You'll be at the door. If you go across the wall, it'll take you a 1.5. So what happens in this next round might make a difference.
West.
You run to the west one. You're opening the door. Let me see if this can get through the door. Making another open doors check. Just as you're opening up that side door, the doors to the chapel burst open, and you see. I'm doing it Tony style. You see, if I can do it. Oh yeah, the thing.
This is what you see.
This is what you see. Did I do this right? I probably didn't do it right. Oh yeah, I did it right. You see a terrible 9-foot tall, half man, half beast creature, and it's looking at you like that, and it's like. As it bursts through the door.
He's gonna charge it with a spear.
Yeah, let's roll initiative. You're gonna charge at it, and it's gonna charge at you. You guys are gonna clash.
Can I actually do a charge with my spear? I rolled 7 for my initiative.
7? You're gonna charge him? Okay.
If I can, I want to actually do a charge. Like, does it add anything if I actually hit him or anything?
Let's see. I will actually tell you, because if this is new combat for us, let's see what is better. Because you can also set against charge. One of them is probably better than the other.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could set against charge if he's.
Let me see the.
far
And he
enough
doesn't have a
away.
weapon, so he'll definitely go first. Let me just quickly check that. First of all, I'll look up the charging part because I read that to you already. Double damage or double dice when charging with the weapon that you have. So that's double damage if you charge.
Oh, so I should have killed that wolf earlier. Oh well.
Yeah. You didn't roll 2 dice because you weren't charging.
Nah.
Sorry. Let me just make sure. Yeah, double dice if you're charging. If you set against charge, let me just look at. I'm just curious so that we know. Someday I'll have this all mastered. Where is the advanced combat stuff?
Yeah, they also have the thing where you can do a charge or a set against charge if you have a spear in basic fantasy as well.
Yeah, it's pretty common. I actually think it's the same, to be honest. But the thing is, you can't. In your case, it's the same, but not all weapons. Oh, you know what it is? I'm not looking at the actual book. I'm looking at the quick chart thing. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. In some games, there's one's better than the other, but I actually think they're the same because of the weapon that you have. Because a small spear, I don't think you can charge with, but you can set against charge. Let's see. Adventures of Combat. Combat actions. Advanced combat, maybe. Let's see. Shooter, reckless, running. Huh. I don't see it, so I might just say it's gonna be this. Oh, charge attack. A running attack, double move made by a man or humanoid armed with a melee weapon. This action is a single attack that supersedes standard blah blah. So if you had more than one attack, you can only do one. A charge occurs in phase 1 if you're one half your movement, which it is. If beyond blah blah. Note the charging distance equals double no half blah 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 blah. Okay. Charge attacks. Okay. Okay. Chargers gain +2 damage bonus, though they lose dexterity bonus to AC. Okay, so in your case, because your weapon allows double damage, so that's actually better. But let me just see what's set spear against charge. Defender fixes the butt of the weapon on the ground, braces defender, hits the target before the damage dice. Okay, so in your case, with your spear, it's the same, Crystal. If you had like a short spear, you'd be better off holding it against him charging at you. But because because of your weapon, you can charge if you want. It does the same thing. Effectively, it's the same double dice if you hit. But in both cases, you lose your dex bonus to your AC, which is 1, I think. So basically 1 worse.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but you do first, anyways. So go.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So
Hike will charge this creature.
Nice.
Hopefully, I actually roll well this time.
When you need it.
Nat 20. Yes.
Nice.
Ah.
Okay, that's when you need it. Okay, so that's a crit.
Does crit do anything special?
Yeah. So with a crit, you roll a d6.
Okay.
2. Okay, so it's +2 damage because you're a thief. If you're a fighter, you actually get better crits, but whatever. But that's pretty good.
Right.
So to the end, yeah. So additional
roll. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you roll double dice, so 2d8, and then
okay, I roll
2 pluses, and then also additional +2.
2d8.
Yeah. Shit, you might kill this thing.
I thought you said it was double damage, or what? Or
it's double dice.
Double dice. Okay. 2d8.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 5 plus the 2 is a 7, and then plus my 2 from my strength and my +1 because it's a magic spear. So it's a total of 9 damage.
Okay, and you have the additional +2 for the crit.
Yeah. Yes, I added all that.
Yeah, that's still good.
I added up all the dice.
You stab into it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a 9-foot tall giant of a creature, so it didn't kill it, but it definitely wounds it. It yelps in pain,
it was still a really cool charge because that was a crit.
It was pretty badass because most people would run the
Bam!
other way if you ran right at it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this thing,
that girl get
this
hurt.
thing swipes at you. I think it gets 2 attacks. Yeah, it does. All right, so it swings at you with its right claw first. And it misses. So your AC is currently 3, or is it 2?
3, yes.
3. Okay.
Or well, wait, does the dex
Oh, right.
till the end of the turn or whatever?
No, the dex doesn't hurt you right now. I mean, the dex doesn't work for this round. You don't get your dex modifier for this round. So is
Okay,
it
so it's at 4.
4? Okay. Shit, and I rolled an 11, and that's actually just enough to hit you. So he hits you actually. First claw. Ooh, 7 points of damage.
Ow.
All right, second claw. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I'm holding the wrong way.
I can't see. I'm not on the camera right now. I'm taking off my damage. Nat 20.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm telling you. I'm like, I can guarantee I'm dead.
Yeah. So
Dead points left.
valiantly you charge the terrible snow monster. Let me just see how much damage it does. Oh my god, I rolled another 6. 6, 11.
That's enough to kill me then.
Yeah, that's 12, and then plus what did it get for a crit? For the crit, it gets +2, so 14 points. And because it hit you with both claws, it does an additional 2d6 of hug damage.
Great.
4, 6. So it does 20 points. Holy shit. It does 20 points of damage as it jabs or scrapes into you with its claws and pulls you close and then tears your back open. And all that beautiful magic stuff is probably bloodied and falls on the ground. So, yeah, it eats you.
Nice.
You know, and who knows what might ever happen with this little girl. Maybe the creature hunted around and found her. Maybe it didn't, and it left her there, and she died of starvation. Or perhaps some monks came and rescued her before. Or those strange scratches on her face, perhaps they changed her in some way. This we will never know. So thanks, Crystal. I can't believe that was pretty ballsy with the charge. I got to say, I didn't think you were going to charge the creature. But yeah, that was.
I mean, yeah, I didn't have any other choice, really. I mean, I didn't have anywhere to run. It was going to get me no matter what. So.
Yeah, you had a little bit of a bad. When it had howled, I was kind of giving you the bit of a warning that it was there, and then it took X number of rounds to get through the door. If you had gone back and explored right away, you probably could have got the crossbow. That would have been your best bet. Or lighting it on fire because it was all that oil. So.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to explore the place, and then I was going to try and set up like some booby traps. Like I was going to like get some like coal and like tie it to like the top of the door, so if someone came through it, like the coal would fall on top of them. You know,
yeah.
Like
No, you definitely could have Home Alone did it. What I did was I rolled randomly to see how long it would take before the creature came back. So I was counting down basically. I had my little chart at the top here, counting down as every move that you did, how long it was taking you to do it. So, all right. Anyways, let me stop the live.